Ah, welcome to my cabin. Please, take a seat. Warm yourself near the fireplace. So, I'm guessing you want to know more about the Dutch East Indies campaign. Well, no need to worry. I'm here to tell you everything there is to know about it. Oh, and I forgot to introduce myself. I'm August Herrenhard, and I'll be narrating the events that transpired during the campaign. Anyways, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Let's go. This is Indonesia. Formerly known as the Dutch East Indies, much of the archipelago had been under Dutch colonial rule since the early 16th century. That is, until the Japanese invaded in 1941. Their motive? To exploit the valuable natural resources of the archipelago. The Dutch were desperate to hold on to their Asian colony, but they were no match for the Japanese war machine. All this happened in the infamous Dutch East Indies campaign, and the occupation that followed, which was the catalyst for future events to come. It all started with an invasion in Kalimantan. Japanese forces landed in Malaysia and Brunei beginning on 15 December 1941 to seize the oil production centers there, particularly the city of Miri in Sarawak. They then launched a three-pronged assault to the south using three forces. They were the Eastern Force, who was to advance through the southern Philippines, the Central Force, who advanced through northeast Kalimantan, and the Western Force, who was to capture Palembang and beyond. The goal of these forces was to capture oil resources in the Dutch East Indies. In order to better coordinate the fight against the Japanese, the Americans, British, Dutch, and Australians formed the American-British-Dutch-Australian Command, or ABDACOM, which combined any available land and sea assets in Southeast Asia. However, they had differing priorities regarding their territories. The Americans and Australians wanted to avoid total penetration by the Japanese in Southeast Asia that would cripple their defense network. The British believed that Singapore and the eastern entrance to the Indian Ocean were of utmost importance, while the Dutch wanted to prioritize defending the Dutch East Indies. I bet that troll of a mother gave you that during birth. Come here, little shit, I'll teach. These differing priorities would ironically prove to be the downfall of ABDACOM. The combined force of the Allies was not enough to deter the Japanese due to their own growing numbers. By late January, the Japanese had captured Sulawesi and all of Kalimantan, and by the end of February, they landed in Sumatra. Much of the Allies' naval components were destroyed during naval battles in the Java Sea and Sunda Strait. The Battle of the Java Sea in particular was the most disastrous. A Dutch ABDACOM commander was killed in the naval battle. Had the Japanese lost the battle, it would have delayed the inevitable occupation of the Dutch East Indies. The land forces fared no better. They were decimated by Japanese forces within less than 2 months, and their presence expelled from the region. APTACOM was then disbanded soon after. The whole archipelago had fallen to the Japanese. So now you know what happened during the campaign. It was a futile defense against the Japanese war machine, steamrolling through all of Asia. But even though the following occupation was harsh, it planted the seeds that allowed the Indonesian National Revolution to happen shortly after World War II. If the occupation never happened, well, things would have turned out differently for the Indonesians. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I'll be back soon with other topics to cover, so stay tuned for more documentaries. Goodbye.